Hello everybody, this is Phreak with an audio commentary for WC Replays, replays.com. It is copyrighted by the site, so don't go stealing it, bitch. Yeah. Anyway, so this audio is on Elf versus Undead. I guess it's the second one I've kind of done in this matchup. Again, the Elf is kind of winning, and it's not as close of a game. Echo Isles is pretty much an elf-sided map. I'm going to show you how and why, and pretty much just sort of how to play the matchup on this map with hero choice and everything going down. Anyway, so I know not a lot of introduction going on because I introduced the topic beforehand. Pretty much I'm just going to talk to you about how to own it up here. I've got it here at the 1 minute mark at the 1x speed from my point of view. Anyway, so okay, you're at the 1 minute mark, 1x speed now. Let's go ahead and unpause this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, so you see I'm spawning at the right hand side here, Tree of Life, Ancient of War, Moonwell. You can use yourself, your own eyes to look up the build order. But the point is, this is build order I completely invented. FYI, I invented this shiz, so you're a bitch if you steal it. No, I'm just... Anyway, point is, I invented my own build order, and it's nice. And yeah, there's a small delay for what I could have put my Ancient of War up farther up, but anyway. So, Echo Isles, the way to play this matchup is obviously open up with creeping, and what you really want to do with this, especially with Dark Ranger, and especially on Echo Isles because you've got mercs that you can get, you really want to try to push your opponent. Whether he's going tier 2 or whether he's going tier 2 for, Lich and Gargs, or he's going tier 3 for A-bombs, really the openings are about the same if you think about it, because if he's going tier 3, okay, well, he can't have his main help fight, but, I guess if he's going tier 3, he's a little bit weaker against his push because, his main isn't there to help fight because he's upgrading it. He doesn't have, 2 crypts to make stuff. And so, it can be weaker. However, in the case of, let's say, if he's going Gargs instead, then, he'll have that second crypt, he'll have some Gargs coming out and whatnot. But he also might be saving some more money. He might make less schools. He'll be saving money so that he can start making Gargs and start his tier 3 up. Like, he's going to be spending an extra 200 gold getting a second crypt. He's going to be, saving enough bank to start making Gargs and a Lich and tier 3 when tier 2 hits. So, it may work out to be about the same. I'm not really sure. I don't play Undead. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many ghouls they make. But, let's just say it's going to be about the same regardless of what strategy they're going to do. Besides, it's kind of hard to scout, what their tier 2 or 3 strategy is going to be when you pick your first hero. Point is, Dark Ranger first, I think, is probably really the best hero to do on this map. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And, I mean, there's a couple ways to come up with the criteria for which hero to get on which map. The reason I think Echo Isles is best for Dark Ranger is a couple of things. There are a lot of small creep camps. There's this green camp here, the green camp up above, the green camp next to the expansions, the orange down in the middle of the map. Like on the right and left hand side in the middle is has a lot of small creeps. Even the merc camps have a lot of creeps. So it's easy to keep building up skeletons. That's kind of the point of bringing up. You can keep creeping and keep progressing into larger creeps as the game goes on. You can see right here I've got 4 skeletons running around helping me mess with this. And as you can see, I run his DK away and pow, take the creeps off. I'll go over that in a second. So there's really good creep progression with the Dark Ranger. I think that's going to be that's one of the big things. I'm going to lead off. So now I'm going to go to how to handle the Death Knight harass. As you saw right there, I just had my skeletons go follow it around because I had enough. The creeps were small enough, and I had the position good enough, and I was next to my Moonwells that I was sure I wasn't going to go lose something to a coil snipe like on my own units. I knew I was going to be all right. And the deal with that is I'm going to lose that Dark Minion. Yeah. Alright, so, but yeah, so right here I notice his Death Knight's like across the map, and so I say, okay, I'm gonna go start creeping now, and so I pull my units up, and pow, I start creeping at these little camps, pick up the Troll Berserker. As you notice, I built the extra Moonwells and whatnot to allow that. I did tech with 2 Moonwells. I went up to, I believe, 30 food, teched, and then started adding in new stuff. At this point, I've got enough archers. I don't really need to add any more. I might. I'm not sure. I just watched this replay a second ago, and I already forgot what units I made. But so I see this Death Knight, and I'm like, oh crap, it's a Death Knight, and oh crap, a bunch of ghouls. So I grabbed some mercs. I grabbed the other one I can take, and I'm like, okay, I've got something like 5 archers. I've got some skeletons over here, and the skeletons I think are just right-clicking his hero, which actually turns out to be pretty helpful eventually. A little bit of a mistake micro there. I could have kept the archer running away, but for the most part, when you've when you've got something like this with the skeletons focusing down that Death Knight, I mean, the skellies don't do much DPS. I mean, 9 to 10 damage slow, honestly. Like, that doesn't help you kill ghouls, you know? It really doesn't. However, they deal full damage to heroes, and so if you have the skeletons right-click as Death Knight, if he stays in battle, he's going to take a crapload of damage. And if he runs away, he's not coiling his ghouls. And the Death Knight is a large source of damage. Look how much damage this guy does, right? 33 to 43, so 38 average damage. That's a ton. That is an immense amount of damage. And okay, fine, he's got the claws of attack there, but still, I mean, he's doing 30-something damage a shot. That's amazing. That helps you kill stuff. And, with Unholy Aura and Coil being in there, he's going to kill your stuff really quickly. And so by drawing him away with the skeletons, because they're not going to do much damage otherwise, I've gotten his Death Knight low, which is helpful. And I've kept them out of the battle, which is also helpful. And so, because his hero's hurt, I'm now allowed to creep more. And anytime you can put a lot of damage on the Death Knight, undeads hate having a hurt Death Knight. Like, I mean, you can do some damage to it and they won't care because it'll regen with Unholy Aura and Blight and all that. You get it into the red, it hurts. It really does. It slows down everything you can do. He can't use it to tank creeps a bunch. He's got to, make sure he can coil those ghouls or have skeletons in front and shit. It, lowers his harassment ability because he can, it's going to be hard for him to, come back at you because he'll just take more damage and be even weaker and then have even less he can do. It is really, really helpful. I tried to send a Wisp up there to scout for an expansion, but because I noticed he was level 2 and all that. Anyway, but alright, so you can see now this Death Knight's still at 150 hit points, really weak. And so the strategy you do though is you do this whole push bit, and you notice I got my Hunter's Hall up in time. And notice also this is why I only built like 5 archers or something. It's because you need the money to get your Hunter's Hall up, to get your expansion up, and to get a second hero, get the range upgrade. All this stuff costs money, and if you build too many archers, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. I mean, in some cases you want to build an extra supply of archers, and that's if they pull their ghouls off early to go harass you. In this case, I saw, he was creeping with them. He didn't use them to harass me, at least, for a while. So I was okay with just, messing around with what I had and allowing my skeletons to, continue to procreate and, let me take on bigger creep camps. And so you can see that, especially, again, the point I was bringing up with Echo Isles is that even though I only made this, the small number of archers, I got to pull in all these mercs to help me win this fight. And as you can see, I'm knocking off a large number of ghouls. Unfortunately, that one gets away with with 5 HP or whatever. He picks off most of my units, but I've still got a decent supply of skeletons, and I can get more. And so even though my hero only has 10 mana, I'm able to kill a ghoul. Pow, new skeleton. Back up to 5 mana, 6 mana, whatever. Try to go first round, miss it. But, notice that, he goes for this tier 3 strategy, and his base is not helping him fight. He didn't build any towers, he's getting one now, but, I'm able to push this in, even though I don't even have any units left, and I pulled back those 2 archers, which I'll heal eventually. I think. Maybe this is a different game I was thinking of where I actually pulled back some archers. Yeah, I guess I didn't save any units. Whatever. Point is, I've got this big army of skeletons and stuff that I'm able to, screw with them. I've knocked out all those ghouls, so let's switch vision. Well, he has enough wood and gold to make units, but, he's really weak, though. I mean, you see, he's going to lose that ghoul. Now, I shouldn't have burned the TP, because right now, right there, I just got a perfect surround on his Death Knight, would have won the game. If you were watching Observer mode, you would have seen, wow, way to TP when you would have won the game in 5 seconds. And why did I TP? Because that was a beautiful, graceful Death Knight surround. He did not see that coming. That, like, patting myself on the back, that was a beautiful surround, okay? That is a worthy game-ending move, Like, you may see undeads win a game because, oh, I just called over your DH and you lost, or the Archmage or whatever. But a surround with summons and stuff, that's just like, oh, Phreak, you're so good. Ego. Alright, point is, I'm going back to the creeping mode because, honestly, I have a Dryad. And I know full well his ghouls aren't going to be outside his base, so, what's the point of harassing him? He's got his main up, he's gonna, he's got tier 3 for an orb. And yeah, he ganked that ogre, which is too bad, but whatever. I mean, he got 1 creep, I got 4. Okay, and okay, congrats. These level 3 creeps are worth half what that level 5 is. Point is, I still got twice the experience he did, and now his Lich has no mana, so whatever. And so, one of the things I like about Dark Rangers is that they can't force your main hero to TP by nuking it. I mean, just Frost Nova, it's not enough damage. Considering the Lich is going to be lower level than the Death Knight, there's a lot of factors. Point is, they can't really force your hero to TP unless, it's an extended battle and they can deal enough damage. So notice he took out that whole bit. He took out these creeps, so I'm like, okay, I was going to creep that, but I guess not. I noticed these creeps, I grabbed some items. tried taking a bit too much damage, but I'm okay now. So yeah, you see I grab a TP, because you really never want to